How is it going today? Loyalist Kingdom, my name is Dwayne.
My name is Jazz.
We're Dwayne and Jazz. So we have 14 Horror Stories Animated Compilation 2015. We did part 1.
Yes, we're doing part 2.
And these parts, we're going to just do 5 parts. Because this is, of course, try not to get scared.
Yes.
And this is 50 minutes long. So we already did 10 minutes of it.
Yeah,
so
we're going to do just like a little bit of it. And Cassie wants to try this one.
So let's dive on it.
Okay.
Midnight Office.
I forgot she was in this episode.
Working the night shift always sucked. I work in an office building and would constantly do the night shifts since it was the only time it would work out for me.
No.
I was just about always the only person on the floor I worked on.
That's
possibly
scary.
the whole building.
Right.
And
It
all
would always
those
be kind of
cubicles.
eerie feeling to being in such a big building with most of the lights out and absolutely no one around. But on the upside, it was peaceful and less stressful, and I was able to get a lot of work done.
Yeah.
There was this one night, though. It was a Friday night, around 2 in the morning. I was typing away on my keyboard when I heard a noise from outside my cubicle. It sounded like just a random crack from the walls or something.
Get out.
It's unusual in this building,
Get out.
but I didn't get too concerned about it. I resumed typing away and was once again interrupted by a sound. This time, the sound of a computer starting up. It caught me off guard. I was sure nobody else was working the night shift. I stood up on my chair to get a view over the cubicle walls. The glare of a computer screen in the dark was visible in a cubicle on the opposite side of the room. Then I did something stupid, something I regret.
Hello?
I asked if there was anybody there to yell, hoping to get an answer from a fellow employee.
Nah.
But instead, I saw the glaring light of the computer monitor across the room turn off, and there was once again nothing but darkness on that side of the room.
No.
Oh,
no.
I turned off the lamp and computer screen so that I wouldn't give away my position to
You
whoever
scared
that
now,
was.
huh?
I crouched down and tiptoed out across to a nearby cubicle. There was just utter silence. I sat waiting for something to happen for God knows how long, but I eventually decided the coast was clear. I tiptoed down past all the cubicles until I reached the opening near the exit door to the stairs and elevators, and that's when I realized that my fearful suspicion was true. There was a man crouched down behind a plant in the corner of the room, dressed in all black.
Oh.
I felt my heart sink as I noticed him.
Oh
It seemed
no!
like he knew that I noticed him. I turned back to the stairway door. There was no way I was going to wait for the elevator and take a chance. I casually opened the door and closed it behind me, proceeding to walk down the stairs.
And he's still right
After
there?
making it down about 2 flights of stairs, I heard the door above me push open aggressively, followed by manic, echoing footsteps coming fast down the stairs. I raced down the stairs, running as fast as I could.
You better
While the
go!
footsteps above me were getting louder, I finally made it to the first floor, raced through the lobby, and out the front door. Whoever was in there didn't follow me. I immediately called the cops, along with one of my bosses. My boss said no one was scheduled to work except for me.
So yeah, so give me help.
There was no one in there. I couldn't help them out with any description other than he was wearing all black. I did continue to do the night shift for about a week after that, with my boss allowing me to lock all possible entrances to the floor,
crazy.
including the elevators. But I still wasn't comfortable with it.
Yeah.
So ever since, I've been doing the day shifts.
Okay.
Get you some protection. Let other people get it first.
Bruh.
Before you.
Yeah, hell no.
Oh no.
The pizza guy.
Oh, don't make me not want to order pizza no more.
This happened 4 years ago when I was still in high school. I was told to do my last delivery of my shift. I got in my car, which was a 1999 Camry, perfect for delivering pizzas. I GPSed the address on my phone. I live upstate in the country, so all pizza deliveries were long drives. I remember the sun was starting to set, so it was probably around 7 o'clock. I'd say after a good 15 minutes of driving through the foresty dirt roads, my GPS said I had arrived. It was an old little cottage-like house made almost entirely of wood.
I would drop it right there on the
It was sitting all by itself
sidewalk.
in the middle of absolutely nothing but forest. The lawn was completely unkept, as the grass was almost at knee height. I was used to this kind of thing, so I didn't think much of it.
No.
I took the pizza to the front door.
I don't care.
There was no doorbell, so I knocked loudly on the door. Within 10 seconds, I heard the sound of footsteps hitting wood on the inside of the house. The footsteps made it to the door and stopped. I started to feel uneasy. I got the feeling that I was being watched. And that's when I noticed there was a peephole in the door. "It's the pizza guy," I called out. I heard a low, harsh-sounding voice on the other side of the door, telling me to bring the pizza out back. I didn't like the idea of going
You're
back
already
there.
at the door.
Something didn't seem right. "Are you sure, sir?" I called out. He didn't answer my question.
Why would I go in the
Sound
Why
back?
would I go to the back if
Move
you're
away
already
from
right
the door,
there at the door
so I had the
answering
feeling
me?
he was still
Open up
watching
the
me.
door.
I almost found myself walking back to my car, but I decided I didn't want any trouble with my boss. The last time I brought a pizza back, he gave me attitude. So I reluctantly walked through the uncut grass and around the small house to
Shoot,
the
I'll
back.
eat that pizza.
I
Right in
remember
his
there was a
face.
shed and a little patio
Like,
back
yeah, I
there.
got it. I delivered it to
In
him.
the patio, there was a table with 4 chairs surrounding it. In one of the chairs facing away from me, I saw the head of somebody sitting in the seat.
Oh,
I began walking over and said, "Excuse me," but the person didn't even move an inch. "Excuse me," I said again louder.
Man, I'm dropping that
Then
pizza.
from behind me, I heard, "Psst, over here." I turned around to see a man poking his head out from the corner of the house, looking at me with a crazed smile.
Oh
"Come
no!
over here. I want to show you something."
Oh
I
no!
freaked out, turned around, and ran around the house in the opposite direction, back to my car. For some
There's a
reason,
person
still
there.
holding the pizza. I got in my car, started it, and got away from there.
I would too.
To the pizzeria, I pulled over to the side of the road and called the police. Eventually, I was informed that there was no sign of anybody having been in that house for a long time. I quit my delivery job a few days after that. I have no idea what would have happened
He
to me
said
had
no
I gone up
way.
to that man. But to this day, I still wish I had just turned my head to see who or what was sitting in that patio chair.
He said, no, I'm not doing no more deliveries. I'm not doing no more.
That's creepy, yo.
What is that?
I don't know. It might have been what was in the chair, maybe.
Oh my gosh, yeah, it was sitting in the chair and
Yeah.
its head just like
These guys.
Talented kill. Oh my god.
broke over.
Matthew.
It was during a blizzard in Valley Stream. I was getting paid $250 to watch some couple's kid while they went away for the weekend. His name was
I'll do
Matthew.
that.
This took place on the first night, which was a Friday night. Matthew was already supposedly asleep while I was in the living room watching a movie. I got a knock at the door and looked at the clock. It was close to midnight. There was no way I was opening it. Not even 10 seconds later, I heard the sound of 2 or 3 men angrily banging in the door, telling me to
Leave
open
that
up.
door closed,
It
boy.
felt like my heart was about to stop. I took a peek through the blinds, and there was somebody standing right on the other side of the window. I
Dang!
fell back in fear,
Whew.
and after managing to get back on my feet, I ran to the kitchen phone first thing to call the
Oh
police.
my god.
They said because of the weather, it could take a while for an officer to get here. I was told to take the child and hide somewhere until an
I
officer
love
arrived.
how she just doing
Chill,
the
man.
next
Keep me on
casual.
the line, but I wasn't thinking clearly in the heat of the moment and hung up. However, it wasn't until I ran through the living room that I realized the banging had stopped. I took a second peek through the living room window.
That scared the mess
Nobody
out of
was
me.
there
Oh
now.
my gosh.
I heard the
I'm
sound of
good.
glass shattering from a few rooms over. My knees started to feel weak as I realized they had just broken the window and were about to climb into the house. I had to run and get Matthew. I couldn't just leave without him. Of course, when I got upstairs, there was no time left to run back downstairs, as I already heard footsteps and laughter coming from downstairs. I covered Matthew's mouth with my hands as I ran with him into his toy closet. A few minutes dragged down to what felt like half an hour as we sat there in the dark closet. Matthew began to squeal as footsteps on the carpet reached the
Right.
outside of his bedroom door. There was more than one person. They came inside. There
Oh
weren't
my
many
God.
places to hide in this room. I
Obviously.
was actually reflecting on my whole life, so sure I was gonna die.
Oh my gosh.
We heard the sound of a police siren outside, even from in the closet. And then I heard one of the men in the room mutter, "Oh shit."
Oh no.
I opened the door back up as I heard at least 3 pairs of footsteps hurriedly rushing down the stairs. They didn't get far, as the police later found their footprints in the backyard. backyard, leading to our shed.
There you go.
There were 5 men in total.
Oh
And they were
no.
all arrested.
5?
Sheesh.
Oh no. That last one looked like he is not gonna be sorry.
No.
Like, yeah, I did it.
Oh, Anthony. Ooh, look at that animation.
I don't like that.
This happened when I was 15 years old. My best friend Anthony wanted me to come over for the night since his parents would be gone all weekend.
That's
I rode
always
my
the
bike
case.
over and
Parents
put it in
always
his
gone.
backyard before letting myself in through his back door. We played basically every video game he had, from FIFA all the way to Call of Duty, with popcorn and other junk food spilled out all over the floor. As the night progressed,
That's
we moved
us.
from video games
Yeah, it is.
to watching half a movie and getting
Playing
bored
zombies.
to doing prank calls at close to 10 o'clock. Anthony made a few calls to different pizza places. When it was my turn, I just dialed a few random numbers in hopes to get someone at their house. On, say, my 4th attempt, I finally reached somebody. A guy with a deep and rough voice picked up, answering with a yeah instead of a hello.
Oh, that's how you
Anthony's
know.
laughing in the background made me stumble with my words mid-sentence, ultimately cracking up into laughter. I had never done a prank call, so I sucked at it. The guy on the other end was silent.
Oh
I
no.
regained a straight face and tried to continue with the call. It went something like this. Sir, would it be alright if I borrowed one of the wheels from your car? What's your name, kid? My name is Bob. Really? You sure it's not Anthony? It hit me like a brick. I looked up at Anthony,
Oh,
whose
no.
face was noticeably full of fear. I hung up the phone, not wanting to be on the line with whoever that was for another second. Anthony, who the hell was that? I asked him.
Time to go.
I don't know, he told me. Does your caller ID info display your name or something?
Right.
No, it shows my dad's name. We hopped on the computer and did some research, trying to figure out how it was possible to get someone's name through their phone number.
I mean, it's
It didn't
why.
make sense how he could get Anthony's name so quickly. He was way too young at the time to be on any of those personal information sharing websites.
Oh.
We ended up asking the question on Yahoo Answers, since no one had a similar experience. The question turned up no answers. I suggested he call his dad, but he said he wasn't supposed to have anybody over for the weekend, so he didn't want to call. We planned on sleeping in the living room, so
You
we
are
just resumed
screwed.
watching the movie that we hadn't
You're so
finished from
screwed.
earlier. Right after the phone call had left my mind, me and Anthony looked at each other when we heard his front storm door opening, and then the doorknob to the front door began to turn. It only was able to turn about halfway before the lock restricted it. Anthony turned off the TV, and I went over to the window to see who it was.
We go with
I
this
spread
again.
the blinds open. There was a tall guy standing outside. He noticed the blinds moving and turned to look at me.
Uh-oh.
I practically threw the blinds back into place. Me and Anthony hid in the kitchen, listening
Got
for
a
any
knife.
more noises.
That's why I
We
say
heard
get
the
you
sound
a
of the
knife
key to the
and
backyard
hide
opening
somewhere.
as it was right outside the kitchen window. God damn it, I said. I forgot to shut the back door.
Uh-oh.
Anthony urged me to run and shut it.
I would
I
have been
made
like,
it to the
what?
hallway leading to his back door and froze. There was a silhouette standing outside the back door.
Running
I don't
closer.
think he noticed me, but he was surely looking into the house. He opened the door and stepped inside. I tiptoed to the kitchen and motioned for Anthony to follow me upstairs.
Get the knife.
We made it to his room as quietly as possible, pulling the door shut to avoid making any noise. We crawled under his bed.
Why would you go
He
in the
had cloth
bed?
covering the bottom of his bed, so you couldn't see anything under it unless you actually moved the cloth.
Punch his ass.
That's when you stab him.
The
if you
doors
took the knife.
downstairs all opened, each one
Just
getting
leave
closer
your
to the
house through
stairs.
the window.
Thumps finally began up the stairs, and he was right outside the door now.
Oh my god.
The door to the room opened.
He's going to see y'all down there.
I
That's
could
the
hear
first person
Anthony's
to
breathing. It was too
I would have
loud.
been like, shut up.
Footsteps moved over to the closet, and then the closet
I would
opened.
have done one of those.
I could hear the coat hangers being slid around as the fabric of the jackets and coats rubbed against each other. Footsteps moved over to the bed and stopped. I felt like my heart was about to explode out of my chest. Anthony's
Damn!
breathing was too loud. I had to cover his mouth with my hand.
Yes.
Nothing but silence
You have to trust him.
in the room now. We laid still for so long. I almost thought he wasn't even in the room anymore.
He was still there. Trust
I
me,
moved
he
my
is.
hand away from Anthony's mouth and whispered in his ear,
He's still there.
"You think we can make a run for it?"
No.
He was about to answer when the most disturbing, memory-haunting scream I'd ever heard filled my ears as
Yeah.
Anthony was seemingly dragged out from under the bed. I crawled out and saw him struggling with the man.
Beat his ass.
Desperately looked around for anything to use as a weapon. I settled
The
with the
lamp.
screwdriver sitting on his
Oh,
neystand.
okay. I thought
I
that was
hurried
a
over
match.
to the man and drove the
thought it was
screwdriver
match
into
too.
his back. He let go of Anthony as he let out a scream of agony, giving us time to get the hell out of the house.
Good.
Running onto the road would give away our position too easily.
Oh my
It
god.
would take too long to make it to his neighbor's house. We dove for the tree line in the woods and took cover behind a bush, watching the house. The back door opened as the man stepped outside, looking around the backyard. He then looked out to the woods. I felt his eyes pass me as he scanned through the tree line. It seemed that it was too dark for him to see us. Then, he turned his head back in our direction. I ducked behind the bush.
That's so
Joe,
scary.
he's coming. What? Dude, get up, we gotta run. He was right. The man was approaching us fast. How could he have seen us?
Oh my
Better
god.
We
good
ran through the
eyes.
woods with
Dog.
leaves crunching under us, giving away
No.
our positioning. When Anthony
got some
tripped over
good
something,
eyes.
I crouched down with
Of
him,
course,
hoping we had
Anthony.
run far enough. Not even 20 seconds later,
Get up.
oncoming footsteps from the direction we were running from came fast. They slowed down only 2 trees away from us as we lay face down in the leaves. Moments later, the footsteps take off in another direction. We waited until we could no longer hear them and took off back in the direction of the house. While running, over the sound of leaves crushing and my heavy breathing, I could swear I heard leaves crushing from behind us. We made it back to his backyard, into his
Follow
house,
them.
and this time remembering to shut the back door. We were now able to
You
call
call
the police.
911.
Anthony stayed on the line with them while I patrolled the back windows, making sure nobody was out there. It was so dark, though, I couldn't see anything. So I
Bet
did
you
something
couldn't.
that seems stupid today. I turned on his backyard lights, and immediately in the distance, over by the woods, I saw him standing in front of a big tree. He turned off back into the woods and disappeared out of sight.
Y'all need to move.
That was the last time me or Anthony ever saw him.
Y'all need to move.
I would be
Sure.
lying if I told you we heard the occasional knocks at our windows or something cliche. No, that was it. 5 years have passed and nothing has happened.
Good.
Do I wonder if it was somehow linked to the prank call? Maybe.
Definitely.
Does it make sense? Not really.
Y'all need to move.
But yeah, this was the story of how me and my still best friend Anthony almost died during a break-in.
Well, he almost died.
All right, so we're gonna end it right there, man. I guess we lost. We definitely get that jump scare. Definitely got us, man.
That thing at the window got me. How am I supposed to know that that's coming? And then the dude had 2 different color eyes. At that. So, I guess I got scared.
So yeah. Ugh. All right, let us know if you guys want to do more.
All I know-
Let's say 3,000 likes seems like the number.
They were stupid because first of all, you're gonna be in the kitchen where there's knives. Like, get you a
I thought I
knife.
saw the animation of knives, but I don't know. We
No,
don't
it was. It was a knife set. But I'm just saying, you're in the kitchen. There has to be a knife in your kitchen or something sharp. Grab that sharp object. Go run to wherever you hiding at, and then
Right.
just keep it so that wherever, if he comes to find you, you start shanking him. You
Yep.
know,
Yep.
like Jesus. That's what I would do. And then Anthony breathing all hard. I know
Oh
you're
my God,
scared,
yeah.
but you can't be loud with it. Like you gotta muffle
You gotta-
it at some point. Like come, like do it yourself. Cause I'm gonna be doing it to myself. I can't do it to you too. Like come on now.
Right. But anyway, guys, please comment below. Don't
Don't forget to like
subscribe.
and share.
Just more.